Hey, what is up guys, we're here back with a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing part 8 of What If Deku Was Quirkless, or had stayed quirkless, and this will be the finale to the sports festival arc that has been going on in this What If for a while now. So let's get started with the recap. In the last part, Ida had lost to Deku, and then Bakugo is going to be going against Deku in the final rounds. Also, Deku is getting slowly exhausted after all the fights that he had gone through during the sports festival, as well as his movements and ideas being less sharp than they normally are. And Deku is severely at a disadvantage since only one of his gauntlets are left. He still has his boots, however, and those boots help him jump higher and make him move faster because of the boots having jets on them. So without further ado, let's get ready for this climactic finish to the sports festival. President Mike goes onto the stage announcing the final round of the sports festival. Bakugo, the Hero Corps member who had managed to stay on the top 3, and the Quirkless Wonder who has proven his self-worth, Izuku Midoriya. Deku tells Bakugo to get ready because he isn't the normal Deku that he is used to. Bakugo yells out to him saying that it's time that he gets to beat the crap out of Deku in front of everyone, and Bakugo gets excited. Deku jumps back, activating his gauntlet, yelling out loud that it's time to settle the score once and for all, and with that, President Mike yells, "Let the fight begin." Bakugo runs up to Deku, getting ready to hit him with a right hook, but Deku grabs his arm and throws him on the ground. Bakugo starts to think to himself, asking how Deku knew what he was going to do. And then Deku, after throwing Bakugo, says to him that he studied how Bakugo fought because he studied all heroes to see how they fought, and that included Bakugo. Then Bakugo gets back up and gets ready for an explosion, but this time Deku dodges the explosion and then activates his boots engines, kicking Bakugo in the stomach. Bakugo yells out in pain and gets sent flying back. The crowd starts to cheer as President Mike screams, saying that it's amazing how Deku is holding up as well as he is right now. Bakugo gets back up, saying that it's his turn, and then uses a stun grenade. Deku covers his eyes, getting blinded by the light, but then he gets punched. As Deku moves his hands to his stomach, Bakugo grabs his hand and throws him to the ground, and then hits Deku with an explosion. Deku gets sent rolling on the floor, yelling in pain. As he lays there, he says, "Not yet, this can't be how it ends," and then gets back up. He looks at his gauntlet and sees a crack in it. Deku knows it's ready to break. He thinks to himself that the gauntlet should be charged up all the way, after all the movement, and then gets himself ready. He says to Bakugo, "Is that all you got?" And then Bakugo charges straight at Deku once more. Then Deku readies all his fingers up and yells Mega Hurricane, releasing all the fingers at once. Then all the air currents form into a hurricane that sucks Bakugo in and spits him out. Bakugo hits the floor then, and right before he lands in the out-of-bounds area, he uses an explosion to keep himself on the stage. Deku looks at the gauntlet and sees that the crack has grown significantly larger, and then decides to use the spike mode on the gauntlet since he hasn't used that in a while. He turns the spike mode on and charges at Bakugo. Right before Deku goes for a punch, he activates his boost to speed up and sprints past Bakugo. Bakugo yells that you missed, but then realizes that Deku was in the air, and that Deku punches Bakugo in the face. Bakugo's head hits the floor pretty hard as the crowd starts to celebrate, screaming on top of their lungs since they're enjoying the fight so much. Bakugo gets back up with blood dripping from his forehead, and then Bakugo starts to change his facial expression as he starts to get pissed off. Then he spins up in the air and goes crashing down, yelling, "Howitzer Impact." Deku, getting worried, jumps up in the air, dodging the attack, but then the air pressure from the attack sends Deku flying in the air so far up that he can see the entire arena. Then he starts to panic, wondering what his next move should be, and then he comes up with a plan. He uses the gauntlet to ready himself and points at an area in the arena. As he slowly falls back to the arena, he uses a mini hurricane to change his direction and to slow him down just a bit so he doesn't hit the pavement as hard. Then he activates the jets in his boots and sticks one leg out. Then he starts to spin, as if he's a spinning top. Bakugo looks up and starts to ready himself. Deku keeps the kick spinning and yells Tornado Kick, kicking Bakugo square in the face. Bakugo falls down and Deku lands safely. Then Deku starts to feel dizzy from the spinning so much, and then he starts to feel exhaustion from all the fights that led up to this current fight. Deku slowly gets to Bakugo, ready for him to get back up, but then Bakugo gets up faster. Deku's reaction and timing had become slower from his exhaustion, and he tries to go for a power punch, but then Bakugo takes advantage of this and uses an explosion to break the gauntlet. Deku looks worried when he sees the gauntlet shatter in front of his eyes. Then he tries to activate his boots, but then that doesn't work either. Bakugo takes advantage of this and breaks the boots as well. Deku stands there, about ready to pass out, but he won't give up. His will is too strong, and as he goes for a punch, he falls to the floor, no longer being able to fight, making Bakugo the winner of the sports festival. Deku wakes up in the recovery room and starts to wonder where all his gear is. Then he remembers that Bakugo had broke it all. As he remembers, Recovery Girl yells at him, telling him that she had warned him that he couldn't win since he was quirkless, and that it was a waste of time to try to get to first place since she knew it wouldn't have happened, and now he's just hurt for no reason. Then Deku starts to look at her and cries. He screams with tears flowing through his eyes, saying that he thought he could do it. He thought he could be the one to get first place, proving that you could be quirkless and still have a chance at being a hero. She stops scolding him and then pats him on the back. She takes a deep sigh and says that it's a shame that the people in the hero course couldn't do better than Midoriya, and that he shouldn't beat himself up because he did so well for not having a quirk and zero hero training experience. Deku looks at her and then wipes the tears from his eyes, saying that she's right. It was amazing that he had placed as far as he did, and that he should be happy with his placing and proud that he got second place, beating most of the hero course members. Deku walks back onto the stage and gets on the stands with the placements on it. He stands proudly on the second place stand and smiles to the audience. The crowd cheers as they see Deku standing there, and then the teachers announce the person giving the medals is All Might. All Might jumps in yelling that he is here to present the medals for those who had placed so well in the sports festival. He gives a medal to Todoroki for placing third, telling him nice job, but he still needs to master his fire side. Todoroki doesn't reply and stares at his left hand. Then All Might walks up to Deku with the second place medal in his hand. He talks to Deku, saying that it's amazing how Deku placed second place in the sports festival and that all his hard work had paid off. Deku looks up to All Might thanking him, but then asks him if he remembers the conversation they had when All Might was saved Deku from the sludge monster. All Might says that he does, and then proceeds to ask him why. Deku replies saying that he proved All Might wrong, and that he was able to place so high in the sports festival without a quirk, proving to the world that quirks aren't necessary to become a hero after all. All Might looks at Deku and agrees, and says that he was wrong, and he apologizes for what he had said to Deku, demotivating him. And that's why he is so proud to announce, after all the teachers had finished discussing this, are welcoming Deku, Izuku Midoriya, into the hero course. Deku's eyes start to widen and tears start to come from his eyes. All Might asks him if he's ready to join the Hero Academia. Deku, with tears in his eyes, nods his head, gladly accepting the offer, officially becoming a student in the hero course of UA High. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. That is the end of part 8 of Quirkless Deku 8, and this might honestly be the finale of the series. I don't know. I feel like 8 parts is very long, and the views are down on this video, so I think you guys are also just losing interest in the series in general. So if you guys want the series to continue, obviously we're going to set a like goal, let's say 500 likes, same like goal as last time for part 9. I think you guys are officially done with the series, and I think you guys are liking the new Deku with Speed Force series right now, so I'm going to focus a lot of time on that. But this is a nice little place to end the series, if it ends. I'm not saying it will. But if you guys hit that 500 like goal, then that shows me you guys still want to watch the series. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 8, the finale to the sports festival. Be sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.